1, 2, 3, I don't know who else to be. 4, 5, 6, like they say I can't be fixed.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Jill.
And welcome to Fluffy Mother Fluffer, where we're taking life seriously, one laugh at a time.
Welcome to our St. Patrick's Day episode. Whoop, whoop. Today, to celebrate Jenny's heritage and my love of celebrating, we'll be talking Irish facts, the Irish Clotta Ring, before we segue into another ring segment called If You Like It, You Shoulda Put a Ring on It. Then we'll wrap it up with a fun game where Jenny and I will play Luck of the Linguistically Irish and try to pronounce words with an Irish accent.
Yeah.
Probably very poorly.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, I know.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know that my talent does not lie in accents. Other than the Wisconsin one. My God, yeah,
That's really good.
I got it down, Crepes. Cheers.
Oh boy. How do you say bag?
Oh, this is one of those ones that confuses me, and I don't even hear it when someone says the difference. Bag. Like begging a dog. Bag.
You don't say bag?
This is not the same fucking thing. That's what I'm saying. It sounds the same. How do you not know? I'm saying what you're saying, and you're saying what I'm saying. How do you not know? Because it sounds the same.
I did until you said it. But you just said bag.
Bag.
Okay, bag.
Bag.
Yeah.
Bag.
Bag.
That'll never happen.
Yay, St. Patrick's Day. Do you do anything for St. Patrick's Day?
One year, I went and did a run.
Yeah?
It was like you saw the start line, and then the end was right in front of you. I did it with my siblings, and this was after many green beers. That's a hot mess. Anyway, so we did this like slow motion run from start to end. And we made sure we had to stretch before. So it has a lot of interesting photos.
Do you eat any Irish food, or have you?
This year I am going to make corned beef and
Cabbage.
but I heard that that's not actually an Irish tradition. That's just something we made up.
Yeah, it is.
I blame it on the cabbage industry.
I mean,
They gotta be hurting.
It's more of a bacon cabbage dish or
See,
pork
that makes
cabbage
sense.
dish.
Making the cabbage taste good.
When I do it, I soak the carrots, potatoes, and cabbage in salt water
Okay.
overnight.
Can I just have you do it and then bring it over?
One of my other favorite things that I had growing up is called Dublin Coddle. It's like more of like a blue collar type meal, but it's really good. And it's just like broth with potatoes and sausage and bacon and onions. That's literally all it is, but it's so nourishing.
That sounds better.
It's so good. I'll make it for you.
Yes. Can you just bring it over in like whatever pan, and then I'll put it in a pan, and then I'll be like, look what I made today.
Found out not only that I was a lot Irish, that I was even more Scottish, which was insane.
Which is not
But you know,
surprising.
It's good because I had got a Celtic tattoo that means family. And I found out after the fact that I was more Scottish than I was Irish even. And I was like, well, good thing I just got a Celtic symbol.
right. Celtic.
So what is a stereotypical thing when you think of an Irish person?
Ooh. Do you want me to go off the recent history book I read?
Oh, I don't know.
Alcoholics.
Right.
Loud.
Yeah. They're portrayed as being like drunken, happy redheads. Drunken, happy redheads. You know, being drunk in public is actually an offense in Ireland. I think like the only time it's maybe a little leeway is on St. Patrick's Day. And that's mostly because there's so many tourists that go there.
Yes.
And are the drunk ones.
Because we created this image of St. Patrick's Day.
Right. St. Patrick himself wasn't actually Irish. He is actually the patron saint of Ireland, but he was born in Wales in 386 AD.
Whoa.
Yeah. He was captured and sold into slavery, working as a shepherd in Ireland. And later in life, he actually returned back to Ireland as a missionary.
That's cool. Go Patrick.
More Irish live outside of Ireland than actually in Ireland. Ireland sits at around 4.8 million people, which is still 4 million less than the population before the Great Irish Famine of 1845, which lasted till 1852. Up to half of the entire population of Australia claim Irish ancestry, while just over 39 million Americans believe they are part Irish. And that's why you got to go take that DNA test.
Yeah. I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm not even a little bit Irish.
No,
I don't know.
you need to take this. We've been talking about this way too long.
I know.
English is not the first language of Ireland. English is widely spoken across Ireland, but the official language of Ireland is Irish Gaelic, with English being second.
Still today?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah. Ireland was the first country to legalize gay marriage by public referendum.
When did they do it?
This happened in May of 2015. So considering that they legalized the sale of condoms in 1978 and divorce in 1997, it's actually pretty incredible to see such positive and forward thinking such a short amount of time.
97 for divorce, huh?
I know.
I mean, to be real, I know that we just started divorce because
Yes.
it wasn't for good reasons. They
Oh.
weren't doing it because they wanted things to be amicable and for women to be happy. It wasn't being done for us.
Yeah.
So,
I'm done with you, so I want a divorce.
tra-la-la.
The shamrock is not the national symbol of Ireland.
No.
Do you know?
I know what it is.
figured you would.
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's a harp.
It is. The harp is actually the official national symbol of Ireland. You can see the real harp, which is the symbol that it was based on in Trinity College Library.
Ooh.
And it dates back to the 15th century.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be cool.
That is cool.
We were actually supposed to go to the Trinity College, like the library, because it's really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And we never ended up getting there.
I feel like I would be like Belle in Beauty and the Beast when he opens the library to her. That would be me. I don't know. Libraries are like my favorite.
Halloween originated in Ireland from the ancient Celtic festival when people would light bonfires and wear scary costumes to ward off unwelcome spirits.
Okay, so my understanding was that Halloween came from the pagan ritual.
Mm-hmm.
So is that essentially the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Because before Christianity came to Ireland,
Yes.
it was very pagan based.
Mm-hmm.
Saint Valentine's ashes are buried in Ireland.
Huh.
His ashes have found their final resting place in a shrine inside of Whitefriar Street Church in Dublin. And they were brought here from Rome as a token of a gift by the Pope at the time.
Interesting.
So they have St. Patrick and they have St. Valentine there.
I honestly thought Valentine's Day was just made up bullshit. But
No? The Clotta Ring is another pretty popular Irish symbol. I was going to bring mine.
you
wear
have
mine.
one?
Yeah.
why do you look at me like I should know this? Do you wear it in your nose? Like I would just know you have this?
I know. Yeah, no, I
Jesus.
I definitely have one, and I'll tell you the story of how I got it. Its symbol includes a heart being held by two hands with a crown on top. So it represents love, loyalty, and friendship. The hands represent friendship, the heart, love, and then the crown, loyalty. The ring, as currently known, was first produced in the 17th century and originated in the little village of Clotta in County Galway. They have changed slightly to what we see now, and they are exchanged as a gift of sentiment.
Like our engagement ring?
Yeah, for multiple reasons.
Okay.
When I don't remember how old I was. I want to say 13.
You got engaged?
No, my mom took me to pick out my first Clotta ring.
That's awesome.
It was an important event in the timeline of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And we all got one at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are old enough to take care of this, you're old enough to have it, and it's something that I still have today.
That's cool. A coming of age.
Kind of, yeah.
Your fish lived more than a month. It's time to go pick out that ring.
I don't know if that's just my family thing, or if that, I don't know.
If that's how it's normally done.
Right. I know that they're given as a gift of sentiment, both in proposals or engagements, or just to like show your heritage. Heard different versions of the correct way to wear one, with the simplest, which is what I was taught, to wear it with the point of the heart like towards the palm of your hand, That signifies being in love or married. Point of the heart outwards, like towards your nail bed, to signify not being attached to anyone.
Ooh, that's a detail you gotta look for to be
I know.
out on the prowl.
Well, and that's the easy version. I've also heard of a more detailed version.
I did hear something similar for the way you're supposed to wear your engagement rings in the US. You're supposed to wear your wedding band closest to your heart. So if you have an engagement ring and then you have a wedding band, the wedding band is supposed to be the furthest in.
Yep. Do you do that? Well, you have 2 now, but did you before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just more comfortable that way too.
I don't know. I guess if I switched it around, I'd be like,
I'm not taking the son of a bitchin' thing off.
I saw you do it once.
That took a lot for me to
Hey,
do.
if you haven't seen that yet, if you haven't seen the tanning video, Jenny busted my nuts for like 2 days watching it during the whole editing process of it.
It was totally, everything about that was out of my comfort zone.
It's so funny.
Everything about that was out of my comfort zone.
You're a trooper. You're a trooper.
First of all, being on camera in shorts and a tank top without makeup on, everything about that was completely out there for me.
Yeah.
It was super uncomfortable. I need to do that more often though. Like just be out of my comfort zone.
I realized that it doesn't matter if I wear a loose fitting top or a tight fitting tank top. Either way, you can see down my shirt. I need to do something about that.
I didn't notice that.
Happens all the time.
So the more detailed version to show your relationship status. Okay, ready? The right hand. So with the right hand, the heart is turned in towards the wearer, meaning their heart is taken and that they are in a relationship. If it's the right hand with the point of the heart away from the hand, their heart is open to love and they are not in a relationship. Now, if you put it on the left hand with the point of the heart pointing away from the hand, the wearer is engaged or in a lifelong partnership. But if you put the heart pointing towards the hand, then the wearer is married.
And if you just throw it in the river, you just give it up.
Yeah, you're not looking.
I'm not even on the spectrum. Now that you've covered the ring of Irish love and friendship and awesomeness, I'm going to flip it to American culture. The normal engagement in the US, like 99% of them will have a ring, right?
Right.
It's almost just kind of expected. It's the symbol that we've adapted over time, and we've added aspects such as diamonds, purely because that's what pop culture told us to do.
Right.
You can get rings anywhere you want. You can order engagement ring off of Amazon. There is a local jewelry store so engagement season is usually around the holidays.
Yeah.
They will have buy an engagement ring, get a rifle, a hunting rifle.
So fucking bizarre.
This is true. I think it's amazing that your future husband gave you a ring and they're like, came with a free gun. Like, hello, jump in my bed because you, sir, have thought this through.
I have heard that the diamonds that they would sell at like Macy's are also the same diamonds that they would sell at like a Walmart or a Costco.
Diamonds are cheap ass shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
but they just, so it's basically just like a price difference for the same thing.
Well, they tell you it's, the cut, the clarity, the everything.
Color,
yeah.
4 C's. Yeah.
But realistically, diamonds are like, I don't even know what percentage upcharge.
Well, and then they have like the more engineered diamonds, which are the same fucking thing, just in a lab. Why would you care? I wouldn't care. Would you care? I wouldn't care.
I don't know. Would you be okay with a person that was developed only in a lab?
That's a whole nother conversation.
No, I mean, it's totally the same thing. But I think it's like a lot of things, like hardwood floors versus laminate flooring. Who the fuck's gonna know? You have vinyl plank or hardwood, but some people are just adamant about hardwood. It has to be hardwood.
Oh, well, if this makes anybody feel better, I have hardwood in my house and we are putting LVP over them because they're a pain in the ass to keep.
Absolutely.
They are a pain in the ass.
But some people insist on wood flooring.
Yeah, so we have hardwood under our laminate.
Yeah, you got hardwood. That's what I heard. You can even get rings tattooed on, like Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
Do you? Because if you want to end up like Pam, so she had her Tommy turned into Mommy because that didn't work out. So then you're permanently stuck with a ring. I honestly think that sometimes accepting that engagement ring should take serious thought. Here's my beef with how the Hollywood engagement works, right? Or like the ideal engagement works. Caught off guard and you're totally surprised. But like, okay, Captain Hot Pants can spend 47 hours researching before he buys a drill. But like, I'm supposed to just instantly go yes to getting married. Yeah. And if you don't instantly say yes, the hell gates open. Like, you needed to think about it. Well, yeah.
But realistically, okay, I feel like I don't know that that's ever really how things go. Like there has to be conversations that are had prior to that.
That's what you hope. Absolutely. It's a yes instantly because you've already had that conversation.
And even back in the day, there was like the whole courting thing, and the whole reason for courting somebody was for the intention of marrying them. So if you're not...
Yeah, we're getting in their pants.
Well, no, I feel like I need to marry you so we can have sex.
Yes.
Which is a whole nother topic of why you should not wait till marriage to have sex.
I agree. But we'll get there. We'll get to that. We will fit that in. Yeah. That's what she said. But sometimes I feel that rings are bought as gifts to make someone happy and not because it's the right time to enter that next level relationship. This is my fear with that free hunting rifle and get an engagement ring. I feel like it's like a win-win. And here's what happens. Dude's like, I'll hold on to it. Or lady, whoever goes and gets it. Until it's the right time. And then Christmas comes and they go, shit, I didn't get them a present. Light bulb. I got that ring. I should totally give them the ring.
Or ultimatums being given as well.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You either marry me or...
So, and I can get both ends of that.
I do get that if it's like forever and you're just waiting.
Like, that's a red flag.
Well, too, if your ideal is like, I absolutely want to get married, and the other person's like, I have no intentions to ever get married, then you're probably not right for each other.
No.
Because you're just going to sit and argue about, it's just a legal thing. Well, it's just a legal thing, but for me, it's a commitment thing. Well, I think it's stupid. Well, I think it's important. Well, then...
Yeah.
So I work the wedding circuit, and I would love to believe that all my couples come out with amazing, happy endings. Not massage happy endings, like legit.
Not tug.
No tug tugs. Well, that's you, I'm sure. But
oh boy.
Like happy endings, like they're all happy, right? But sometimes I feel like all the fanfare and the excitement of the wedding itself, and as a married woman of 10 years, like I'm still learning every day.
Oh my gosh.
But I question whether engagements aren't just fluff to hide the true feelings underneath. So when Fiancé says, if you like it, you should have put a ring on it. I really feel like the saying needs to be, if you love it, you have seen it pooping and know it can't cook for shit. You still want to marry it, then you should put a ring on it.
So do you believe that people should live together then before they get married? I do.
I honestly do. Because unless you've been in that awkward situation where you've got to take a shit. And you're in a crappy little 1-bedroom apartment with one little bathroom and this is it.
I have a whole new understanding of things. Oh
man. Okay, so I propose this. We add a question mark to the end of Beyonce's line. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Right.
Okay. Not me saying divorce is a bad thing. I actually side with the many psychologists that have found that when the state of the home is examined, divorce can actually lead to higher life satisfaction, not just for the partners, but if there's kids involved.
Right.
And while we love to perpetuate the belief that all divorces end badly, many are actually very amicable. Yeah. And granted, I know things like infidelity that can cloud that.
Yeah. There's many different aspects to the spectrum of why people get divorced.
Exactly. But a lot of them do end. Okay. So what I'm saying is now, once you are married, you have the added headache of dividing assets, moving out of homes, and on and on. Should you decide to split, you could avoid all that by just addressing a lot of things at the forefront that we don't. We should, but maybe we don't think about it.
Okay.
This is coming from having, 10 years of marriage in already. There's a lot of things I would never have thought of when I was in my mid-20s. I just wouldn't have thought of it the same.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just like we'll deal with it when we get there. I didn't have kids at the time.
Right.
So for everyone, you might already have experiences. I didn't. But for me, there's a lot of things that don't get covered before you get married. So if anybody listening is about to get married, you haven't had these conversations, or you have children who are about to get married, ask them if they've had these conversations, because I feel like they need to talk about these things. Can you guess what my number one is?
Do you want kids?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You're so smart.
Thanks.
Where do you stand on children? Not only where you stand on having your own children, where do you stand on adopting, fostering, etc. if you can't have your own? those are conversations you might want to have.
In my instance where I did not want to have children initially, my husband did. We decided we wanted kids before we got married then.
Right.
But when we started dating, I did not want to have children.
Mm-hmm.
If he also did not want to have children and then I changed my mind, which is what happened, you know, and he still didn't want to have children, like that's a big thing.
Right. And the thing is, people do change.
Yeah.
So people change every day. So you can do this list and you can talk about these things, but you may change your mind.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
You know, you grow, you change. But so when you guys tried for children and it didn't work, were you guys equally on the same playing field as far as trying different methods?
No. He, at that point, was kind of okay with just this probably isn't going to happen and we can just adopt sooner than we had initially planned.
Mm-hmm.
And I, at this point, had went from not wanting children to, holy shit, I actually want my own children.
Mm-hmm.
I want to experience pregnancy and birth and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, I mean, God, it's such an emotional roller coaster, the whole thing.
It is.
Yeah. So he always teases me that the first one was my idea and the second one was his. Because I was like, no, I'm good with one. We're good. I don't want to do this again.
Do you remind the children of that every once in a while? When they do something great, you're like, that's right. You were my idea. This one over here is succeeding.
Yeah.
Yours is shitting on the floor. Get yours together.
Okay. Number 2,
Number 2,
religion.
privacy. If you aren't living with your partner, you're going to have a talk about your need for me time and us time.
Yeah.
Seriously. When I'm taking a shower, it's like some sort of peep show. I'm not a peep show. I'm just finally showering after 3 days. Like,
I know.
give me peace.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. This is my time.
Like, I want my private time when I'm doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So while your level of privacy might change as you have kids,
Yeah.
or you get more and more used to disgusting bodily functions of your partner,
Mm-hmm.
you want to make sure you're aware of where they stand. So you don't have to, ladies or gentlemen, if you have them, let your partner see your boobs every time you take your shirt off. That is a fallacy. I looked it up. Snoops.com did an article on it.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Oh.
You don't have to let them.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You were told that, huh?
Mm-hmm. Number 3 is a big one. Big.
In-laws?
Money.
Oh.
The number one thing most couples fight about is money.
Mm-hmm.
Just even with Captain Hot Pants, I've gone from being a poor college student living off of my student loans to a more comfortable way of life.
Mm-hmm.
But stress and talks about it never goes away.
Yeah.
So
I
you
mean,
need to know their viewpoint.
We just did a remodel of our kitchen
Yep.
and it always ended up being a heated discussion. Let's be real. A heated argument about money.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
And some of us see money as something to obsess over, and others of us see it as just a means for satisfaction for daily living.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know where your partner sits.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to know if you can come up with a happy medium so that that extravagant Christmas you had as a kid isn't something that ruins the holidays when you realize that your husband or wife didn't have that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My husband always said when we got married, we were going to have separate checking accounts.
Why am I marrying you if I don't?
No. Yeah. That comes with, no.
That is not what I ordered.
And I understand his reasoning because he was married prior and had some shitty things happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that just complicates things so much, especially if you're having children. If you have no intention of having children, okay.
Yeah. I just know mine, like we had very different upbringings as far as like Christmases and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was one Christmas and my parents did not have a lot of money. We're very blue collar, but we had extravagant Christmases even with 5 of us. Like there was one Christmas where like I got New Kids on the Block bed sheets and cassette tapes.
Oh my gosh.
I got a sweater, a Jordan Knight doll.
Christmas was like the holy grail.
The holy grail of New Kids on the Block, if you were me. I still remember the day I had to tell my mom that I didn't like New Kids on the Block anymore. And I was like in tears because I felt so bad
Oh no.
because I knew like how much stuff I had and how much it probably cost.
Did you have the Barbie dolls?
I had all of them.
Oh my God.
Okay, number 4 kind of goes back to number 2, but boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, boundaries are not walls you put up to keep people out.
Mm-hmm.
They are the things that you vocally and intentionally put in place so that you let your partner know, this is how I expect to be treated unless I allow you to cross that boundary, and this is how I will allow you to treat me then. At one point, my husband thought it was funny because he had another friend who did it to introduce me as his whore wife. Now, I know that sounds really vulgar and extreme.
Yeah.
It wasn't done with ill intent. It wasn't done to demean me. It was meant to be funny. However, I was coming out of a relationship that was cheating after cheating. Like, there is nothing I despised more at that time than the idea of being unfaithful. So to be called a term that is derogative for somebody that would cheat burned a fire inside of me.
Yeah. So you told him that.
So I told him he couldn't say it anymore. That was a hard boundary for me. And you might have more fluid boundaries too. You might have more boundaries that from time to time need to be crossed. So perhaps you won't allow them to look at your personal things, or you refuse to allow your expenses to be tracked and you want to have your own credit card. Now, maybe your partner wants access to your personal things because in the event of your untimely death, they need to know how to access your stuff.
Right.
So that might be a soft boundary that, hey, I don't want you looking through my text messages every single day, but if from time to time you need to check my phone, I'm willing to allow that, whatever it is. I need to have very clear boundaries set as far as what you expect and then them as well.
Right. In those instances, that is a understanding from each person. Why is this a boundary for them? Why do they need to do this? And why am I unwilling or willing to do it?
Right.
Because there's reasons behind everything. And understanding those reasons
is totally different than just accepting.
Exactly. Honestly, it's just a respect thing too, to not only say, okay, these are the boundaries and I'm willing to go with them, but understanding why your partner is the way they are. It's just a respectful thing to do. And ultimately would help your relationship.
I agree. You need to go in with your head held high going, I deserve happiness in this relationship and this is what I expect and this is what I'm going to put into it. So I should get that in return.
Right.
Number 5 is the most important thing that I feel like most marriages fail at. Communication. Oh my God. See, you knew and I didn't even have to say it.
Yeah.
If couples fight the most about finances, they're actually fighting because they can't fucking communicate.
Right.
If you are gaslit or stonewalled or your partner just bends to you in fights because you go all balls to the walls.
I have been told that I am a really great communicator by certain people, by friends or whatever.
I would agree. You're more clear cut.
My husband, however, not so much. I don't think that I necessarily lack communication skills, and I don't feel that he necessarily lacks communication skills. However, when it comes to communicating with each other, it's a whole different ballgame than communicating with you. You know,
one of the common things in miscommunication is anger because you're not feeling heard.
Yes.
I think when it comes to partners, you feel like you always have to let the other person be heard because they almost become another part of you. So the best, this is for me anyway, the best resolution for me is to see everybody get a little bit of what they need out of the conversation.
Right.
Communicating is much more difficult with a partner because even though you don't see their point of view, you have to see their point of view a little bit to make a copacetic household.
Right.
This is what I'm still working on. They make people that teach you how to communicate. Just saying.
I would 100% agree. That's probably one of the biggest things is I feel like he doesn't understand or he's not actually listening or I'm not being heard. Yeah.
And I think
100%.
one of the biggest thing too is if you are having an argument and you just cannot come to a compromise, it might just be that something else is inching its way into that fight, be it that you're mad about something else or you had a really bad day.
100%.
You just need to come back and just table it.
Yeah.
My suggestion for communication, which it could be a 500-page book, but my one suggestion is that you have a code word for when you want the conversation to stop and come back later. Banana peel, applesauce, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. If I shout Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson outside of our bedroom, he knows it's time to stop. Number 6 is duties or gender perceived roles. This is a big one because it will change. Does your partner see child rearing as women's work or will it be shared? How will they help you out around the house? We have to remember too, we're only, Jenny and I, are one generation away from the high school students who took home economics, who were all women, who were taught that household duties are women's work. We might be 2 generations, I guess. Probably our parents were cuspers on that. At least mine were being taught that.
Absolutely. And I took home ec in school, but the boys took it too.
They could.
Yes.
Yeah. Back in the 50s, it was a women's duty to learn how to be a good housekeeper, a good wife, and a good
It
child
really
rearing.
wasn't that long ago.
So there is still a lot of stigma on who does what in the relationship, and you really need to talk about it.
Yeah.
When I was teaching sociology, I believe it was still about 76% of household work is done by women. I think it depends on what you consider household work as well. Like for me, I do masculine duties. There's some things I can't do just because my knowledge base isn't there.
Right.
And again, that goes back to gender stereotype.
Yeah.
I was never taught how to change a tire.
Oh, see, I was, but my dad was a mechanic.
My dad was too.
Oh,
Well, maybe I was and I wasn't paying attention.
got it.
But like things
I
like
know.
rewiring an outlet, I'm not going to do that.
Oh,
My husband
yeah.
has his things he's great at, and I just let him go.
And that's okay. And we have things that we're good at.
Number 7 is religion. You said religion. This one hits deep for me as I have recently been reevaluating my spiritual side.
Yes.
Jenny, I know you feel me on this one because your husband, like me, came from a very traditional conservative Lutheran background.
Yep.
But I always have been probably a liberal when it came to what I even believe.
My husband now is kind of on the fence of what he believes, right? So he grew up very strict religious wise.
And then you bursted his Halloween bubble even.
Yeah.
During your marriage with your daughter. That is the first time he went trick-or-treating ever in his life.
Ever in his life. But the interesting thing is those perceptions that he was taught, even though he does not believe in that aspect of religion anymore, he still believes.
It is so hard
And it's
to
so weird.
overcome what you've been. I mean, it teaches you how to be a good person.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is the same for pagan religion, which is the same for every religion, is that you want to leave the imprint on this world that is going to have a lasting impact of that you left love. There's something that you gave back to this world. That is a fundamental aspect of every form of spirituality, I would say.
Absolutely.
However, I think it's hard to let go of those things that you're told will keep you from doing that. You're told if you don't do this to be able to eventually make up for your sins. Like, that's hard to let go of.
Right.
So it's being proactive. Child ends up being gay. How will you respond?
Exactly.
That is going to be a torment for your child if one of you sees one way, one of you sees the other, when they're themselves questioning.
Or if one believes one thing and somebody else believes another thing, how are you going to raise your children? What are you going to raise your children to believe?
If you don't have the shared religious beliefs with your partner, that's okay. That is totally okay, but you should just know where they stand so that you know where you're going to stand on future issues.
Yeah.
One of our seasons coming up is going to be all spirituality. We're going to talk conservative religion. We're going to talk paganism. We're going to talk. Yes. I just feel like there's a lot to say on this subject. And my final point is core self. How does your partner see you? So this might sound super weird. When that special someone asks you to marry them, before you say yes, I want you to pause for a moment and say, what makes me the one for you? Okay. If they can answer back with the things that they value in you, and those are things that you value truly about yourself, then they do see you. If they don't have anything to say, and they say, came with a rifle, that might be a moment to go, okay, I'm going to say yes because I love you, but we need to talk about things. So don't let the idea of being engaged overpower the need to be valued. I'm going to say it again. Don't let the idea of being engaged overpower the need to be valued. In years to come, when the wedding is over, the drinking and fun is done, if you didn't accept the ring for the right reasons, you might find you lose yourself in the shuffle if you were fluffy to begin with. Just remember that when it's all done, you're going to have so many hardships when it comes to marriage. There's going to be things that you didn't expect.
Yep.
There's going to be things that went better than you expected. But you can't predict what's going to happen. And the best thing you can do is just prepare yourself the most you can.
Right.
The ring is just a sign of commitment. The wedding, much like St. Patrick's Day, is a day of celebration. However, it's the after that really matters. And that after should always be part of the before.
Right.
I'm probably biased because coming from being a counselor. Right. But honestly, there's nothing wrong about going to see a counselor just to proactively prepare for the future. That is the best thing you can do for yourself.
I think the healthiest thing that you can do for yourself is to have counseling sessions like in just everyday life. You might think you're completely fine, but I think anyone and everyone can benefit from sitting down with somebody who is open-minded and
genuinely wants to help you regardless.
And just talking about things.
They're helping you might be, that was fucked up. You shouldn't have done that. Or it might be, I can totally see where that's coming from. Let's explore that more, you know?
Yep.
But all in all, if you don't have someone who accepts you for who you are, if you don't have someone who, I'm trying to do this joke and it's really funny and I have to say it.
Fucking it up.
If you don't have someone who accepts you for who you are, you're going to have a really hard time when you want to quit your job and become a stand-up comedian and travel the world as an interpretive mime act. Can't be.
What is that?
Miming. It's like
Just such
just
a weirdo sometimes.
hand movements. I don't know where I was going with that.
No?
No! I don't have an ending. If things don't work out, there's always room in my interpretive mime comedy show. No one's ever said, there's too many mimes in the world. This is so much better on paper. A gaggle of mimes. I literally wrote down a gaggle of mimes. I don't know why. Oh, because it actually has a nice ring to it. Oh, there it is. There's the pun.
Oh,
A gaggle of mimes has a nice ring to it, too. Winky.
This is going to be our special segment. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. You want to do some Irish accents?
I will give it a go.
Okay.
I honestly am the worst accent.
I'm not very good either. And I feel like my go-to always sounds more like English than like Irish.
Top of the morning. No.
That's more Scottish.
I have no idea. For your Irish heritage, I will give it a go today and publicly humiliate myself.
Well, I probably will
Story
too,
of my life,
'cause
though.
I'm not. Yeah. The Irish accent's very musical. I don't know if you've noticed
like
that before, but they do a lot of like highs and lows when they're talking.
Oh my God. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
All of my favorite singer-songwriters
Mm-hmm.
are Irish.
Yeah.
And I never thought why.
Their language is beautiful too, like the Gaelic.
Yeah.
But just the way they talk in English is it's just enchanting. Yeah, so just remember that when you're trying to do it, because if you talk in like the same note or like a straight note, it's not going to sound right.
I feel like already we got to one up on this. I think you and I,
Why is that?
because like we already have a lot of emotion.
Oh,
Maybe just being emotional beings.
pretend
We
like
put a
you're
lot
about
of
to
it
cry.
into our top of the morning to you. Hey, that was actually probably better. The only accent I can do is Australian, and you know how? Okay, you need to say the words good, I, and might together real fast. Say it.
good eye might. That's pretty good.
It's funny every time. That's the only way I can do an accent.
Okay, so let's start with an easy one. Try and say, how are you?
How are you?
I don't know what that was. That was like Finnish or something.
How?
Okay.
Wait, you're not gonna do it?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
How are ya? How are ya?
Oh, okay. Ow. So maybe I'm too much on the A.
How are ya? Sounded a little bit better. How are ya? Don't know why you laughing.
Watching you do it is so funny. You're looking at me for like
Emotional
confirmation. I'm like,
support.
the fuck I know.
Okay, next one. I love Ireland.
I love.
No.
That's definitely Texas.
Yeah.
Love. I'm so Wisconsin right now. It's like permeating out of my pores.
I love Ireland.
Love.
Love Ireland.
Love. Oh, yeah, that was good.
Ireland.
Oil.
I
Oiland.
love Ireland. Ireland.
Love. No, see?
Nope, that's English.
No, I'm in it. Yeah. I'm getting closer, though. I'm at least across the ocean.
What on earth are you doing?
Oh, jeez. What on earth are you doing? Oh, I really thought I got it that time.
What on earth are you doing?
Oh, that was good.
What
on earth are you doing? No, I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger got a role in an Irish movie, and he's trying to do the accent.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Get down! What are you doing? Get down!
I found out lemons are sour.
Why? I found out lemons are sour!
So I think their eyes are more like oil.
Lemon.
Oil.
Lemon.
I found out lemons are soy. I found
Oy.
out it's like their words are smaller.
Everything's beautiful. That's all I can say.
Let's go down to the pub for a pint.
Let's go down to the pub for a point. A point. Hey, I think I got that word down. Point.
Let's go down to the pub for a pint. No? No?
I don't know.
I don't know. All right, that was fun.
Next time we're doing Wisconsin accents. You know what we need to do? We need to send this segment to anybody who listens in Ireland and have them do our accents.
That would be amazing.
If you are listening and you are in Ireland, or you know somebody who would have an authentic Irish accent, I want to hear them do our shitty accent.
Yeah.
I mean, theirs is great. Ours is not. Ours is kind of,
I don't know either.
it's definitely not musical.
No. No, and I'm sure we probably insulted them. Please go ahead and insult us back.
Oh, yeah. We deserve it. So what's your fluffy takeaway for the day?
My fluffy takeaway, I feel like some of these things that you said you should do before you're married are things that you even might need to go back to having at some point later in your relationship.
I done fucked that up. The proactive part. No, I'm just in the reactive part.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep. What is your fluffy takeaway?
That Irish heritage is something I wish I had, because I feel like I relate to it very much so in that it has all these aspects of love and commitment. And I really admire that.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think that it's interesting that a lot of people like to believe that they have Irish in them.
Which is so funny because they were outcasted when they came to America. They were considered a lower caste.
Right.
And then it was like, we're loud and proud and here we are. And everybody's like, oh, I want to be that too.
Exactly.
I admire that too.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for joining us on Fluffy Mother Fluffer. Remember, you can like, follow, share, and review us on Facebook and find us on Instagram and YouTube. Find our podcast and blog on our website, fluffymotherfluffer.com, and feel free to email us at any time at fluffymotherfluffer@gmail.com with topic ideas or to discuss anything we've covered. We'd love to hear from you. You can also review us on Apple Podcasts to let us know how we're doing. Bye.
Say goodbye. Say it in your Irish accent.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Can I just say the line from Braveheart even though he's Scottish?
Yeah.
They will never take our freedom.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Been reciting it in your head.
I have. I've been wanting to say it for like the last hour. Thank you for joining us on Fluffy Mother Fluffer. Hopefully this episode lifted a little bit of fluff off that pile called life. And if not, well, join us again next time, you fluffy mother fluffer, you. Oh, yeah, I wanted to tell you something.
What?
So I was wearing these sweatpants, not the ones I'm wearing now. And Captain Hot Pants goes, what is with those sweatpants? I'm like, those are the least sexiest sweatpants you have. And I go, they're not my favorite.
Have you seen those new leggings and they like ruche in the crack of the butt? And they make your butt look like voluptuous.
What? Oh, like I need that. I think that's a young person thing.
No, we should totally try them. They have like videos of their husbands walking in and seeing their butt, and they're all like, "Those pants are amazing."
Really? What was it?
Amazing.
You're scaring me a little.
That's my bedroom voice.
Oh my God.